What's going on, people? To anyone that thinks me an asshole and making a shitty comment about the decor, I mean, if that's the best you got, come on, really? You're weaker than I even gave you credit for. Um, Mom says, "Quit playing with yourself. Dinner's done." Um, just really. Anyway, I made a video a while back called "What About It?" The "What About It" crowd, because we have people that want to reach back in the past whenever you talk about current events and say, what about them, or what about so and so, or just reaching for anything to try to justify the orange pedophile and his um, people. And I still, it's like, really, I don't have a time machine, so I can't go back and fix those things that I may not have disagreed with back then. But I'm looking at today and what's happening today, um, and we have another crowd on the left, and I'm going to say far left because those are the most. I mean, God forbid you mention anything about protecting yourself, or we need to prepare for this eventuality. That immediately sends them into flight mode and telling you how you're just trying to promote violence, or you have no argument and violence is your only answer. Blah blah blah, and that's the crowd I'm talking about now. It's the they can't do that crowd, because as we've seen, they've arrested people without cause, both non-American citizens and American citizens, and those people said they can't do that, and then they did it. They violated people's due process, and they said they can't do that, and they did it. They killed a man and a woman who were nonviolent, and they said they can't do that, and they've done it. One of them was carrying a registered legal concealed weapon. He never reached for it to defend himself, and there are those that said they can't do that, and they did. Right now, the federal government has gone into election offices in Georgia and violated state rights, for you state rights bootlickers that just are fine with it. And that crowd said they can't do that, and they've done it. And now those votes are null and void because there's no proof. There's no way they can know that they didn't tamper with them. And they sent Tulsi Gabbard down there, who would have normally nothing to do with this. And she's actually, and then they had a phone call with her, the orange pedophile, and agents. Talk about weaponizing the government against your enemies. There you go. But, I'm preaching to some of the choir, and the other idiots, they don't care anyway. So they're fine with whatever their pedophile master does. But they sent her down there, and the reason she's down there is so that they can look at the information, and without proof, they'll claim, my opinion, they'll claim that foreign adversaries affected that election is the reason the orange pedophile lost. And then they're going to start the process of sowing doubt and making excuses and coming up with reasons that they need to protect the voting by seizing and voting it cutting the votes themselves. Not everywhere. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying they're going to do it across the country. They just have to do it in enough places to screw up enough elections and screw up enough votes to basically make the election null and void. And as we've seen in past criminal enterprises, the lackeys are always more than willing to do what the master tells them, and they're always the one to go to prison while the master doesn't. That's what's happening now. These people are willing to sell them souls to the pedophile devil that's in the White House. And that's my argument. We need to prepare for when they do what the they can't do that crowd claims they can't do. They have violated how many amendments now? They've arrested reporters and charged them. They filed charges against senators and representatives, and we're talking criminal charges. They filed criminal charges against Powell at the Fed just because he won't bend a knee to the orange pedophile. This is what they do. And we have people that say they can't do that whenever you bring up any scenario of how they're going to fuck this election up to stay in power. And let's be as clear as possible. Pull your head out of your asses, or whatever you've stuck it into, and actually stop and think about this very seriously. They've already said it. They are very aware of what happens if they lose control of the House and the Senate. They know what happens to them. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So if you're a criminal who doesn't give a shit about the Constitution or its amendments, and has proven time and time again that you don't care about the Constitution and its amendments, what do you think they're going to do? Anything they can. Anything they can. And they've proven that they will do anything they want. There's no one to stop them. Those of us that believe in the Constitution, want to protect the Constitution, believe in the oath we took to protect the Constitution in this country, we're full aware. And we would love that those people on the other side felt that way too. We have to realize, coming from our side of the world, they do not. Quit trying to project onto them how you would look at it if it was you, because they are not us. They have proven they are not even American. They're traitors to everything this country is supposed to stand for. So I'm just tired of hearing whenever you try to say anything that even remotely mentions the midterms being fucked over, and they want to immediately, you're the problem. Somehow that makes you the problem. They're still not the problem, because they're still clinging on to this false hope that they're not going to be able to do anything as they are doing it. And all I'm saying is hope for the best. I hope, beyond hope, that there's a free and fair election come this November. But I have enough common sense to look at what they're doing today and realize they've done nothing but escalate. This only gets worse till the midterms. No one's coming to save us. The Democrats have proven they don't have the spine for it. They're just like the rest of these, they can't do that crowd. They're clinging on hope and a dream that these people who have violated the Constitution every day since they've been in office will suddenly abide by it. And then want to demonize those of us who say, hope for that future, but prepare for the one that may come when they do something that you claim now they can't do. That's what I got in this video. Yeah, I don't know what else to say on the subject, but don't ever come to me again with they can't do that. They already are. So shut the fuck up. That's all I got to say. Have a good day.